to the hip. Okay, so we can bring this arm down. And then we're going to start to address the hip, iliotibial band, the peroneals, and then right out. And we're continually following this one line of energy called the gallbladder meridian, which starts just on the outside canthus of the eye, zigzags underneath the occipital ridge, in front of the shoulder, right through the side of the body, and now it goes through the hip. So in addressing the hip, one thing I would suggest for a sense of stability and to help open up this area a little bit is to take this leg like this so that the hip opens. And depending on, can I have another bolster, please? It's probably a good practice to bolster or pillow the knee. So in this position, to start to work the hip, one thing I would suggest is coming and bringing the knee up against the sacrum to stabilize it, and then bring your other leg across. Because a lot of times what happens, if you don't stabilize this, when you press, the leg shoots out because there's nothing holding it back. And this position also, like up at the head, puts you right over the area that you're working on. So we're going to deal with the soft tissue here in between these two bony landmarks of the hip. You feel for the lateral border of the sacrum and also the greater trochanter of the femur. And those two, by the way, are points of attachment for all the gluteal muscles and deep rotators in the hip. So in addressing the soft tissue, we're going to again use this palm of our hand, which fits right in there, and we're just going to lean in and do nice compression of the soft tissue in between the sacrum and the greater trochanter of the femur. We do general compression, and then in the same soft tissue, and it's sort of like shaped like a crescent moon actually. We're going to use thumb over thumb pressure, which is a little bit more. And at this point we're just going to sink into the tissue. We're not going to worry about anything other than just addressing, leaning in on the exhale. And then if you like, if you're working on someone that's a little bit more substantially muscled, you can use this portion here, which also comes right into that area. It's a little bit more. Is it okay? You like it?
I'm just really tender there. I mean, it needs to be done.
And that pressure level is okay? Because, you know, we're trying to get this optimal level where the area feels addressed, but that they're not on the other end contracting, because it's just counterproductive. We're going to continue compressing right through the iliotibial band, but the gallbladder meridian also goes right through the iliotibial band. So if you're either it's more comfortable for your body posture, or you're working on someone that's thickly muscled and you want to use forearm. Got to watch out though, because this can be very tender, and it gets tender pretty quickly, particularly when you're going towards this point of attachment at the side of the knee. Just continue with palmar compression right through the lower leg. And then we're going to do this. May I do this? Take your sock off here.
Sure.
Okay, so the meridian coming down, it comes in front of the ankle. You ladies, can you see this? Come. And you want to come in front of the ankle, or in this case the lateral malleolus, the ankle. And right in front of the malleolus and at the bottom, there's a indentation. You feel? You feel?
Mm-hmm.
There's a dull ache usually. And that's the source point for the gallbladder meridian. Okay, so like we talked about, source points are balancing points. So this helps balance the energy in this whole meridian. Okay. And then from here, it's just a nice line right out the fourth toe. Okay. Well, I'll leave it off for the video. It might help the sales of the video. I have a left foot fetishes, I don't know. So now, just to end the sequence, we're going to do a nice simple compression of the extended leg. So we're going to start at the base of the foot here. Now, one thing we do know, there's one source point that we can address in the foot. It was on the quiz, the spleen meridian, which is at the base of the big toe bone here. So it's always good to just go into that a little bit and take this compression right up the soft tissue. So you'll notice that I'm trying to match the person's leg and how their leg articulates with the mat on how I choose to stimulate or compress. One thing is you want to keep the work in front of you. So that's why we move. You try not to work out of rotation. Meaning you don't want to come at a body part like this. It hampers your breathing, you can't utilize your body weight correctly, and it really interferes with feeling on a deeper level what's going on. So you want to keep the work in front of you. I'm going to compress, press, and just very light compression on the side of the knee. And very light compression right above the knee because of the attachments of the adductors. It can be very sensitive here, so light. But as you get into the body of the adductors, you have a variety of ways of compressing. You can do the palm of your hand. You can do this portion of your leg right below the knee. It's a lovely way of working the adductors, something that you really can't do so well in supine or prone. You can use the arch of your foot. Leaning in always on the exhale. Or pardon me?
You're like compressing your femoral artery, or?
I am. And this is, in Thai massage, this is called blood stop. So again, even though it doesn't completely stop the blood, it slows it down, creates a little back pressure, so then when you get up, it goes in and opens up the channels of the lower leg. So you sit, I don't know what you really think about, but it'd be ideal if you didn't think of anything, I guess. And then when you do get up, and then we finish with this stretch. So we addressed this whole side following the meridian going down because it's a yang meridian. We compressed up this way because the meridians on the inside of the leg in the softer area are yin meridians, and they go up. And then we're going to end with a stretch. So the stretch is this. We're going to grab a hold of the ankle of the top leg. And we're just going to bring it back. Just like a, relax. And then you see I moved myself over here, and I'm going to place my bent leg in the small of the back. And I have them inhale. And on the exhale, you bring the leg back to you. So nice inhale and exhale. Lovely psoas stretch, very supported psoas stretch. Stretches also the adductors, the attachment of the adductors just below the ASIS. It also stretches the stomach meridian in shiatsu. Would you like a little bit more, or is that okay?
It's okay.
It's okay. So the thing about this stretch is that it's lovely and supported. The position of not the contour of my knee, but just below the knee in the small of the back, meaning it's above the iliac crest. If you put it on the sacrum, it hampers the stretch, but if it's above, supports. And then when you bring it back, you want to support it on this leg that's slightly up, because the more you want to really try to keep this portion of the leg relatively parallel to the mat, because that's what makes this stretch so precise. If it's up or down, it takes away from the stretch of the psoas, because the psoas comes down and attaches to the lesser trochanter of the femur. So anytime you displace the femur a little bit, it changes the effectiveness of the stretch. Okay. And then to come back, ease back, and we're going to hold on to this leg because we use the legs as levers to move the body to the next position. Okay. And then we would repeat on the same side.